Hey, let me ask you something personal. Last night, when you closed your eyes, where did your mind take you? Were you running from something? Were you flying above the clouds? Were you back in school? Again? Did someone return to you? Someone who's no longer here? You woke up, maybe confused, maybe moved, maybe scared, but you felt something because your dream was trying to speak to you. And tonight, we're going to help you understand what it was saying. Because dreams aren't just stories, they're messages from the deepest parts of who you are. And every symbol means something. Before we decode your dreams, let's first understand what a dream is. A dream is not just a random video clip stitched together by your brain. It's a conscious experience during sleep, rich in imagery, emotion, metaphor, and memory. It often feels strange, vivid, surreal, and yet deeply familiar. But more importantly, dreams are psychological mirrors. They reflect your hidden desires, your fears, your repressed memories, and the emotional weight you're carrying, often without even knowing it. Some scientists say dreams help consolidate memory. Others say they regulate emotion. Freud called them the royal road to the unconscious. But the real question is, what are your dreams trying to show you about you? Let's find out. One of the most common dreams people report is falling. You're on a bridge or a building, or just suddenly weightless, plummeting into the void. This dream is never random. In dream psychology, falling often signals insecurity in waking life, a loss of control, or the sense that something stable is collapsing, a job, a relationship, a sense of self. But there's more. In Freudian theory, falling can symbolize sexual surrender, especially if there's shame, fear, or embarrassment. In Jungian psychology, falling might represent ego death, a moment when the self is being forced to grow by releasing pride, control, or illusion. Ask yourself, what am I holding on to in waking life that's slipping through my fingers? Where do I feel unstable? Because when you dream of falling, your mind may be showing you the ground you're afraid to land on, or the truth you're afraid to face. Another extremely common dream, being chased. Maybe you're running from a monster, a stranger, or someone you know. This dream is tied to the avoidance of conflict, but the conflict might not be external, it might be internal. In Jungian psychology, the pursuer is often a shadow figure, a representation of a rejected part of yourself. Your anger, your sexual urges, your pain, your guilt. You're not just running from danger, you're running from what's unresolved. And in trauma survivors, this dream shows up again and again because the brain is trying to finish the story it never could in real life. Ask yourself, what emotion have I been avoiding? What fear do I need to turn and face? Few dreams are more disturbing than the sensation of your teeth falling out. And no, it's not just because it feels gross. This dream speaks to identity. In ancient traditions, teeth were a symbol of power, both primal and social. Psychologically, this dream often reflects anxiety about appearance or aging, fear of powerlessness, a sense of losing your voice, especially when communication has been suppressed. Freud linked it to castration anxiety, a fear of losing potency or control. But modern views tie it to social embarrassment, self-worth, or changes in how you see yourself. Ask yourself, where am I feeling helpless? Have I been silenced? What part of me is crumbling? And why? Now let's talk about flying dreams. Some are euphoric. You're soaring over cities, oceans, mountain tops. Others are terrifying. You lose control, spiral, crash. Flying dreams often signal a desire for freedom or perspective, escaping from pressure, or finally rising above something that once held you down. But not all flight is triumph. Sometimes it's escapism, especially when the dream ends with fear or loss of control. In Jungian thought, flying may represent the archetype of transcendence. your desire to move towards self-actualization. Ask yourself, what am I rising above? Or, what am I avoiding by taking off? Flying dreams aren't just about freedom. They're your soul asking, where am I ready to lift off and what's weighing me down? You're in school, at work, on a train, and suddenly, you're naked. This dream hits deep because it's not about sex, it's about shame. It often reflects fear of being judged, feeling emotionally exposed, being caught in a lie or in a vulnerable moment. It can happen during job changes, relationship instability, periods of deep self-doubt. This dream doesn't mean you're bad. It means your psyche is afraid of being seen, truly seen. Ask yourself, where am I pretending? What part of me am I hiding from the world? You walk into class. A test is on the desk. You panic because you didn't study. Sound familiar? This dream shows up during life transitions, performance stress, imposter syndrome. It reflects the fear of failure and the pressure of self-evaluation. But in deeper analysis, it may also signify your inner critic, the part of you that always thinks you're not enough. Ask yourself, am I placing impossible expectations on myself? Where do I feel unready? This one is profound. You're in a house and you find a new room, or several. This is one of the most transformational dream symbols. In dream psychology, the house is you. And the rooms? They're the undiscovered parts of yourself. Finding new rooms suggests new talents, forgotten memories, hidden potential, or spiritual growth. In Jungian terms, it signals the process of individuation, becoming whole by integrating the unconscious. Ask yourself, what new part of me is waking up? What have I overlooked? That's actually part of me. Because sometimes the most powerful dream is the one where you open a door and find yourself. Let's talk about death dreams. Dreams of dying or of others dying can feel terrifying, but they're rarely literal. Death in dreams is usually symbolic of a major life transition, the end of a chapter, the fear of loss or change. It could be a part of your identity that's evolving, the end of a relationship, or even the death of an old belief. In spiritual psychology, these dreams signal rebirth. Ask yourself, what am I ready to let go of? What's ending so something new can begin? Ever dreamed of a loved one who passed? These dreams feel different, don't they? Whether you believe in an afterlife or not, these dreams have emotional weight. Psychologists say they're often the mind's way of processing grief, seeking closure, or integrating unresolved emotions. In Jungian analysis, they may also represent the internalized memory, the part of your psyche shaped by them. Ask yourself, what am I still holding on to? What would I say to them if I could? Not every dream has a universal key. While archetypes exist, dream interpretation is deeply personal. A dog might mean loyalty to one person, betrayal to another, fear to someone else. Freud warned us of symbolic distortion. Jung showed us how to amplify symbols with myth and personal meaning. The real answer is this: the dream's meaning is what it means to you. Want to decode your dreams? Here's how. 1. Keep a dream journal. Write first thing in the morning. 2. Track emotions. What did you feel? That's the core. 3. Notice recurring symbols. They're not random. 4. Reflect on your waking life. Where does the symbolism connect? And most importantly, don't judge. Just observe. Dreams don't lie. They just speak in symbols. Your dreams aren't noise. They're not garbage data. They are the most honest part of you, trying to get your attention. They process trauma. They spark creativity. They warn. They heal. So tonight, when you sleep, listen. Your soul is speaking in metaphors, in emotion, in symbols made of shadow and light. And if you dare to listen long enough, you just might wake up to a version of yourself you never knew existed.